Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a topic that is absolutely fundamental to your trading success, yet it's something many new traders and even some experienced ones get wrong. We're talking about risk tolerance, specifically, how to figure out your personal risk tolerance so you can determine how much you can comfortably and sustainably afford to lose on any single trade. Getting this right is the bedrock of a long and profitable trading career. Get it wrong, and you're just gambling. So, what exactly is risk tolerance? In simple terms, it's your psychological and financial ability to handle losses in your trading portfolio. It's not just about the numbers on the screen. It's about how you feel when those numbers turn red. Can you sleep at night when a trade is going against you? Do you feel a knot in your stomach? Or can you calmly accept it as part of the process? Your answer to these questions reveals a lot about your emotional tolerance for risk. But it's not just about feelings, it's also about your financial situation. How much capital do you have? What are your financial goals? How much time do you have to reach them? Someone in their 20s with a stable income and a long time horizon can naturally take on more risk than someone approaching retirement who relies on their investments for income. Your financial capacity to absorb a loss is a critical, objective part of this equation. Let's break this down into two key areas: psychological tolerance and financial tolerance. Think of them as two sides of the same coin. You need both to be in balance. First, let's talk about the psychological side. How do you react under pressure? When a trade moves against you, is your first instinct to panic and close the position immediately, even if your analysis still holds up? Or do you get angry and try to revenge trade by doubling down on a losing position, hoping to make it back quickly? These are classic emotional responses that signal a low tolerance for risk or, at the very least, an undisciplined approach. A trader with a well-aligned risk tolerance understands that losses are an inevitable part of the business. They don't see a losing trade as a personal failure, but as a data point of business expense. They can accept the loss, learn from it, and move on to the next opportunity without letting it cloud their judgment. If the thought of losing even a small amount of money makes you anxious, that's a sign you need to trade with a much smaller position size, or perhaps even stick to a demo account until you build up your confidence and strategy. One great way to test your psychological tolerance is through paper trading or using a demo account. Open a position and watch it. See how you feel when it goes up, but more importantly, how you feel when it goes down. Did you want to close it prematurely? Did you feel the urge to move your stop loss further away, hoping it would turn around? Be brutally honest with yourself. These mock trading scenarios are your training ground for the real emotional battle. Write down your feelings in a journal. This practice of self-reflection is invaluable. Now, let's move on to the other side of the coin. Financial tolerance. This is where we get into the hard numbers. Your financial capacity for risk is determined by your overall financial health. Ask yourself these questions. How much trading capital do you have? Is this money you can afford to lose without it impacting your daily life? I cannot stress this enough. You should never, ever trade with money you need for rent, groceries, or essential bills. That is a recipe for disaster because it forces you to make decisions based on fear and need, not sound analysis. Your trading capital should be money that you have specifically set aside for this high-risk venture. Once you've defined that amount, you can start thinking about risk per trade. A widely accepted rule of thumb in the trading community is to risk no more than 1% to 2% of your total trading account on a single trade. Let's make this practical. If you have a $10,000 trading account, a 1% risk means you are willing to lose a maximum of $100 on any given trade. A 2% risk means a maximum loss of $200. This is your acceptable loss. Why is this so powerful? Because it protects you from catastrophic losses. If you have a string of 5 losing trades in a row, which happens to even the best traders at a 1% risk, you've only lost 5% of your account. You're still very much in the game, but if you are risking 10% per trade, you'd be down 50%. Your account would be crippled, and the psychological pressure to make it back would be immense. This percentage rule is what allows you to survive the inevitable losing streaks. It keeps you in the game long enough for your winning strategy to play out. So, your first step is to decide on this percentage. If you're a beginner or have a low psychological tolerance for risk, start with 1% or even less, like 0.5%. You can always increase it later as you gain experience and confidence. The key is to pick a number that allows you to view a loss as just a small, manageable business expense. Once you've determined your risk percentage, you can use it to calculate your position size for every single trade. This is where it all comes together. Your acceptable loss per trade is determined by your account size and your risk percentage. Let's stick with our $10,000 account and a 1% risk rule. Your maximum acceptable loss is $100 per trade. Now, let's say you want to buy a stock that's trading at $50. Your analysis tells you that if the price drops to $48, your trade idea is invalidated and you should get out. That $2 difference from your entry at $50 to your stop loss at $48 is your trade risk. So, how many shares can you buy? The formula is simple. You divide your maximum acceptable loss by your per share risk. In this case, it's $100 divided by $2, which equals 50 shares. By buying 50 shares, you've perfectly aligned your position with your risk tolerance. If the trade works, great. If it fails and hits your stop loss at $48, you will lose exactly $100, which is the 1% you decided you were comfortable losing. There's no guesswork, no emotion. It's a purely mechanical process that protects your capital. This method allows you to trade any setup, whether it has a tight stop loss or a wide one, without ever risking more than your predetermined amount. Let's recap the steps to put this all into practice. Step 1. Honestly assess your psychological comfort with losing money. Be real with yourself. Step 2. Determine your financial capacity. How much capital do you have that you can genuinely afford to risk? Step 3. Based on the first two steps, choose a risk percentage per trade, like 1% or 2%. Start small. Step 4. For every single trade you consider, identify your entry point and your stop loss level first. This defines your trade-specific risk. Step 5. Calculate your position size by dividing your maximum dollar loss from Step 3 by your trade-specific risk from Step 4. Following these steps on every single trade instills discipline. It removes the emotional highs and lows and turns your trading into a structured business operation. Your primary job as a trader is not to find winning trades, it's to manage risk. The profits will take care of themselves if you manage your risk effectively. Remember, your risk tolerance isn't set in stone, it can and should evolve. As your account grows, your 1% risk in dollar terms will also grow. As you become more experienced and confident in your strategy, you might feel comfortable moving from 1% to 1.5%. But any change should be a conscious, deliberate decision, not an emotional reaction to a recent win or loss. Always stay disciplined. This is the key to longevity in the markets. It's what separates professional traders from amateurs who blow up their accounts. Take the time to truly understand yourself as a risk taker, define your rules, and stick to them no matter what. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this breakdown helps you build a more robust and resilient trading plan. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our future content. Let me know in the comments what risk percentage you use in your own trading. I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, trade safe and trade smart.